Welcome into Tighten Up Trivia. My name's Austin Huff. That is Jack Gentry. We are the hosts of the Tighten Up podcast on the A to Z Sports Podcast Network.
Guys, this is a Titans trivia game by Titans fans, for Titans fans. We want to see who out there is the Myron Rolls and the Ryan Fitzpatricks of Titans trivia. You do not want to be a Travis Henry or a Vince Young.
Ouch.
No, yeah, you don't. I'm sorry you don't. Before we get started, let's get to know our players. So, Chris, why don't you tell us where you're from and who's your all-time favorite Titan?
What's going on? I live in Spring Hill, and my all-time favorite Titan, out of all of them, it'd probably have to be Steve Mcnair. He got me going.
That's a good one. I think I've heard of him before. That's a good.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media?
You can get me at CStress3. That's on all platforms.
Awesome.
All right, CJ, let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from? Who's your favorite Titan?
Well, I'm CJ Eke, and I am from Murfreesboro. And I would have to say that my favorite Titan is Steve Mcnair, too, for this reason. I always wanted to play football, and the one number I always wanted to wear was number 9. I just love the way he played and everything that he embodied for this organization.
He was Nashville in a way, wasn't he? CJ,
9.
where can people find you on social media?
Well, if you promise not to laugh, I'll tell you, because people have a habit of laughing at it. But I am at CJizzleman on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm laughing with
Jack,
you.
he said he promised you. You said you would promise you wouldn't laugh.
So there's a story behind that. In high school, everybody would always call me C Jizzle, right? It's just one of those things that always stuck. So I just took it and ran with it with all my social media platforms. But follow me. I'm an aspiring sportscaster myself. So
there you go.
Nice.
Get me up on the social medias there.
Yeah, it's all right, CJ. People used to call me A Jizzle all the time, and I don't even have a J in my name. So, all right. So, guys, let's get to know our rules. Here's how the game will break down. Each player will be given their own 4 questions worth 1 point each. You will have 16 seconds to answer these questions. Those 16 seconds, of course, are reminiscent of how much time was left on the clock for the Music City Miracle.
If a player doesn't know the answer and they think it's hard enough to where their opponent won't know the answer, they can kern them and punt the question to their opponent. If the opponent doesn't know the answer, the player who kerned he or she will get the point. If he or she does know the answer, they will be awarded the point. Each contestant is limited to just 1 kern per game.
After the 4 questions, players will be given a 5th question, which will serve as a final Jeopardy, where players can wager however many points they have. In the event of a tie, we will have a tiebreaker question that will determine the winner. Do you guys have any questions?
I'm good.
Oh, yeah. I'm good to go.
All right. Well, I believe it is written in the old ancient scribes of Greece to tighten up. So let's do just that. All right, Chris.
Let's do.
You are first up. Your first question is, who is the longest tenured Titans kicker?
I'm going to say Rob Baronis.
Rob Baronis is the guess. Yes, and that is correct. Rob Baronis. So Chris is on the board.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. That's right. CJ, you're up. You are trailing 1-0, but your first question is as follows. Who did Steve Mcnair split his MVP award with in 2003?
Well, I had a love-hate relationship with this guy, being also a Vols fan, so I'm just going to have to say Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had love-hates with Peyton Manning. You're not wrong. I was more of a hate, but yes, Peyton Manning is correct. The score is now 1-1.
All right, your second quarter question, Chris. After spending some time next to Jarrell Casey, this 4th rounder from Penn State will have some big shoes to fill this season. Who is that player?
Daquan Jones.
Daquan Jones is the guess, and that is the answer. Chris, a perfect score through 2.
All right, C. Jizzle, you're up here. How long in yards was Derrick Henry's longest run in 2018?
Same number as the formerly known Tatted Monster here in Nashville. Number 99 yards.
That's right. 99 yards. My Mike Keith voice.
I think I could do a pretty good Mike Keith impression.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
Do 99 yards real quick.
99 yards.
Yeah, that's pretty
What a
good.
run.
I thought for a second that Mike Keith was on the phone call. I'll be honest. All
Good
right, guys,
stuff.
it is halftime. Now we have reached halftime. We will enter a 53-second halftime in honor of Keith Bullock, of course, for each player to physically prove their Titans fandom for an extra point in the game.
Each player will be required to find the best piece of Titans memorabilia in their house and bring it back to the screen before time runs out. Could be a piece of clothing, a framed picture, or even Vince Young's shoulder pads. Whatever you think is best, bring it back within the 53 seconds. If a player does not make it back in time, they will not be eligible for the point.
This is the only part of the game which is left up to judges' discretion. The best piece of memorabilia will get an extra point added to their score.
A point that could be crucial for determining today's winner.
On your mark, get set, go.
All right.
That's a nice
There goes Chris.
roof. That's I believe a patio roof, I believe.
That's a nice roof.
Chris,
Spring
I bet
Hill.
that-
They've got good roofs. You can say a lot about Spring Hill, but their roofs are good.
Oh, the one thing that Spring Hill is known for is their patio roofs.
It's the city of roofs. That's what
Right.
they
In
call
fact, I'm pretty sure it says it on the Welcome to Spring Hill sign, like population, 30,000 or whatever. Best patio roofs in
it.
Tennessee.
Home of great patio furniture and
Yeah,
roofs.
right.
Okay, let's see what CJ is. CJ's been pretty stationary down here.
Yeah, CJ didn't even have to get up. CJ's just all right, back in the nick of time. So with time to spare as well, too. So congratulations, guys. So Chris, why don't you go ahead and show us what piece of Titans, I guess, memorabilia did you find?
Well, the one I wanted is in the backseat of not the backseat, the trunk of my car, which isn't here. My girl has it.
It's not a
But,
dead body, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's in
That would
my
not win.
flag
That would
football
not-
bag.
It's
But
Bud Adams.
one day after a game, Michael Griffin was walking through the tunnel in the back, and he tossed up his gloves, and I got his gloves, but I don't have it on me.
Oh,
So-
okay. All right.
I get to
But they're not
settle
here.
my man Vince Young's jersey because I needed an updated one, but that
Okay.
was the last one I got.
VY.
So
VY till you die.
I was gonna say we need to
Yeah.
get you to the Titans locker room or whatever
Yeah,
the team
sure.
store and get a.
I need to get me a number 11.
All right, CJ, what do you got for us?
Well, I have a picture from about 2011. This is something that my brother sent me. He told me to keep as long as I could. It is a picture of a former Titan. That is Jared Cook. And
Okay.
and there's more. There's Craig Stevens.
Oh.
And my brother sent me the pictures of him and Craig Stevens. And I have another story about the Miracle Man. I have a story
About Kevin Dyson you're
about
referring to.
Kevin
Okay.
Dyson, yes, sir. So I covered high school football in the Middle Tennessee area, straight out of high school. And I did it long enough that I covered a few games of Independence High School when Kevin Dyson was the coach. And me and my brother got to catch him as he was coming off the field after the game. My brother at the time, who was playing football himself and playing receiver, asked him one question: how to become successful in that profession, in that line of work. He told him, live to fight another day, every day. Be smart with the way you approach your craft, with the way you approach your life, and all the components that come with that.
All right,
Okay.
so to recap, Chris has got a Vince Young jersey, and CJ gave us a TED Talk. So, Jack, where are you leaning?
Well, for Chris, if he had the Michael Griffin gloves, if the Michael Griffin gloves were present, I would lean towards Chris. Since they are not,
Mhm.
and it is VY apparel, but it is not his shoulder pads. I'm leaning towards CJ.
Oh no!
I'm leaning towards CJ.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
If it was the shoulder pads, that would, without question,
We
be,
would call the game.
Oh, we would call the entire tournament. We would just give it to Chris. All right, Jack. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. So CJ gets the point. So after halftime, boys, it is 3-2. CJ is on top, and since it is halftime, we will flip the field. So CJ, you'll be getting the first batch of questions.
All right, we're in the third quarter, CJ. Your third question is this: who is the last Titans return man to make a Pro Bowl?
I believe that would be Moonshine. That would be Mark Mariani.
That is correct, CJ. It's 4-2. You're in the lead.
All right. Chris, you are next up for your third quarter question. Remember, both of you guys still have your kern available if a question is deemed too hard. Chris, your third quarter question is, which current Titan attended Harvard University in his college days?
That would be Anthony Ferkser.
Anthony Ferkser is the guess. And that is correct. All right. So it is 3. Chris has 3. CJ has 4 going into the fourth quarter.
All right, CJ, it's crunch time. Here it comes. The most difficult question you've heard this round. Which Titans head coach was hired after the team parted ways with Jeff Fisher in 2011?
It'd be a guy who played for the organization, a guy who had a Hall of Fame career as an offensive lineman. I'm going to go with Mike Munchak.
You gave a long answer in your time. Your time was very close. If you started the answer a little later, you could have been in a little trouble. But yes, Mike Munchak is the answer. Wish you would have had a Hall of Fame coaching career with the Titans, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Scores currently CJ 5. Chris, you have 3. Your fourth quarter question. Yancey Thigpen, which is actually the last Titans jersey that I have owned. So I've given Chris a hard time about getting a Titans jersey. Yancey Thigpen.
Wow.
Yancey Thigpen subtracted, this is a numbers game, subtracted by Keith Bullock equals this current Titans ace. Kevin Byard is the guess. And I'm sorry, it is Dane Cruikshank. Cruikshank is tough. That is a hard one.
That's the hardest question of the game. I wrote that down and I immediately apologized.
Yeah, Jack wrote it down and he doesn't even know the answer. Like that's
Dane Cruikshank, good. He is a special teams ace. Just wish he'd stay a little healthy, but that's neither here nor there. We move to Final Jeopardy. Each of you will write on your piece of paper with your pins how many points you would like to wager.
CJ, you can wager as many as 5. Chris, you can wager as many as 3.
Okay.
All right, Jack, what's the question?
The question is, well, it's more of a task. Name the last 4 quarterbacks to start for the Titans. You're going to name the last 4 quarterbacks that started a football game for the Titans.
All right.
27 seconds starts now.
I don't know about you, Jack, but my heart, it's up in my throat right now. I'm so nervous.
Yeah, it's pretty tense. You can hear it based on how hard it appears CJ is riding.
I don't know if you can see my heart beating right now, but it is going.
Call a doctor. That would be my advice.
Should I? I feel like it is an irregular heartbeat. I feel like this is one thing that my wife's been telling me I need to get this looked at, but
you have a big heart.
I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for this final.
All right, the time is up. The time actually ended, I think, 10 seconds ago. But we were discussing also the regular heartbeat. Okay, so first we want to see how many points each of you wagered. CJ, can you show us how many points you wagered?
CJ wagered backwards. 4 points.
That's backwards 4. Okay.
Yeah,
it counts.
Doesn't translate.
Okay, Chris is going to write 3.
Chris wagered all 3. So Chris is all in with 3 points. CJ is wagering 4 of his 5 points. All right, gentlemen. Chris, we'll start with you since you are currently trailing. What is the answer that you wrote down?
I don't think I'm right. I'm forgetting someone. I can't think of who it is. But I put Tannehill, Mariota, Fitzmagic, and Collins. I'm missing one, but I can't.
And CJ, what did you write down for your answer?
I wrote, obviously, Marcus Mariota and Ryan Tannehill. I also wrote Blaine Gabbert and Matt Castle.
All right. Well, neither of you got this answer correct. The last 4 quarterbacks were Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota, Blaine Gabbert, and the Mets show, Zach Mettenberger. Since Chris went all in, he's left with 0. CJ strategically wagered all but 1 point. CJ wins by the score of 1-0, the classic Vince Young score. Sorry, Chris, to rub it in.
Good game, man.
Good game.
So, CJ, you will advance to the next round. We will see you then. Chris, we're never going to see you ever again.
No, probably not.
No.
Don't say that, Chris.
We'll see you at a Titans game. Hey. We'll see you out and about. Go wear that Vince Young jersey around tonight proudly, okay?
Hey, get in the A to Z Fantasy League and I'll see you.
There we go. There we go. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for playing. And always remember, tighten up.